Hey guys, I'm Franklin Fitch, and welcome to REKT Podcast.
Hello and welcome to REKT Podcast. I am Bunchu Betts alongside my esteemed colleague and co-host, Crypto Chamber. Chamber, how you doing, man?
Doing pretty good, man. It's back at it after Labor Day weekend. You tweeted out, I think you tweeted out today something along the lines of these long weekends make you realize how much you hate working. That sounds about right?
Yes. As soon as it became Tuesday morning, I'm like, ew.
Yeah.
This is the worst thing.
Now, obviously we have Franklin on from Beaxy.
Hey guys.
Hey.
Fifth time.
I mean, five-timers club.
Five? No way.
Five-timers club.
Yeah.
The five-timers club.
We're getting you the smoking jacket.
I'm
It's
setting
for
new
real
milestones, man. I set a record in Galaga the other night, and this one's probably more significant, so I'm pretty proud of it.
No, but your name will be etched there forever.
Yeah, my three initials.
But, being, Frank, being in a crypto job, quote unquote crypto job, do you have that same feeling? Like, I know for me, I got to go back to my regular gig, which is, kind of boring. It is what it is, but it's not crypto. And I do so much work in crypto, and then I got to, Monday to Friday, really have to focus in on my day job. Do you feel the same way? Like after a long weekend, you're like, I got to go back to work, or is it not as bad because it's crypto?
No, it's a really interesting question, and I think it's the answer will be two parts. So on the one hand, no, I really don't feel that way, because I think on part of that is that I really like the people that I work with. They're very good, close personal friends of mine. The work is exciting. The work culture in general is pretty light. In terms of it's not an overly serious tone all the time.
Right.
Obviously, we take our work seriously, but we like to, keep it lighthearted, because I think that's what you have to do if you're going to be working odd hours. Crypto's a 24/7, 365 industry. So that is the other part of the answer, is that no, in almost no occasions, I'm not going to say there's been zero, almost no occasions have I been like, oh, I don't want to go to work today. But I think the always on aspect can be tiring from time to time.
I was really feeling that today.
Yeah, it just burns you out.
I hear you. I mean, obviously, Bunch can attest to this, but I mean, working a regular job and then, committing the time for the podcast. Plus we have some other pokers in the fire, if you will. And I mean, Bunch, you know what I'm talking about. It's
It's a lot.
It is a lot. You're like, oh shit, I wish we could just fit, if we could just, cross that threshold where we can go full-time crypto, right? FTC.
Yeah. It's nice. I mean, it's nice, but I don't want people, from the outside maybe to look at that with envy. You know what I mean? It's a lot. It comes with a lot of challenges. I think this industry has a lot of hubris. It has a lot of threats internally that you face, right? So it's a challenging industry to work in. There's a lot of things that are normal in other industries that are not normal here. Processes in place, so it comes with its challenges.
Very interesting. But your challenges have led you to opening and launching Beaxy, and we know that was a long time coming. You've been running now for what, a little over 2 months? Is that right?
Yeah, I think that's
Has it only
accurate.
been 2 months? Does it
has,
not feel like a lifetime already?
No, you're exactly right. We're just over that 2-month threshold. So it's kind of crazy. I mean, that's the interesting thing about this industry, how much happens in a very short period of time. And I feel like we've gone through so many interesting experiences between now and then.
Well, let's talk about not the past, but the future. You guys have a ton of stuff coming up and going on right now. I'm not sure where I want to start. I think let's start at something that you announced maybe a couple weeks ago, which is your trading competition. Talk about that and how folks can get involved, because that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, that one's cool. I mean, we didn't invent this model, but we thought this would be something fun to do. I mean, honestly, we were just talking at the office one day, said, why not? We've had, I think out of the gate, we did really well with volumes. Everybody kind of knew that. I think you guys yourselves were pretty close to that and in the Discord talking about it and tweeting about it. But then I think we had some struggles with liquidity, and I think we've since become really, really appreciative of how tough it is to nail that on the one hand, and then how important it is on the other hand. So it's really, really high priority item. Make sure the books are liquid. Make sure when you want to go to buy and sell something, it's very easy to do that. The kind of drop off in volumes, we started realizing, okay, let's work on this really long-term liquidity solution. And then let's also kick up the gear, increase kind of the activity around volumes in terms of trading competitions. So now when we have new listings, we're really going to be trying to prioritize trading competitions alongside those. And additionally, we have a big one that's for a Tesla, actually a Model 3. People will be able to win that just by placing trades on any pair on Beaxy. You get slight bonuses for placing trades on the Beaxy pair. So if you want to actually go trade some Beaxy token, you can get a little extra incentive for that. But overall, it's really just to try and kick up activity on the exchange. And we had good response from the community when we launched it. And I think people have been overall quite positive about it.
Now, the question is, are you going to hold back one Tesla and then wait for the second winner to give out the Tesla? Or are you just going to do it properly and give out the Tesla right away?
No, I'm aware.
Passive-aggressive Justin Sunday.
I'm sorry, I don't know
that. Were you the winner?
Was that passive or was that active?
I'm not sure.
Just
he didn't name who it was, so I'm going passive-aggressive.
I think we've named it now. I mean, we're not, we've never had any intention to not award people the prize. It's the other opportunity for people is if they're in somewhere where maybe or in a life situation where it's not practical for them to have a car, maybe they already have a car, they can win some cash equivalent. We'll just give them straight up in Bitcoin, and obviously all that stuff will be on the blockchain, and we will be super transparent about that. We're aware of how how things like that have gone in the past, so we don't want to replicate any of that.
That's cool. Chamber, have you traded enough to win a Tesla yet?
I don't think I have, but you never know.
I certainly have not, because I'm what
well, guys, you think about trader. It. Volume is not, you don't have to do that much in terms of daily trading to get volume. I think we worked it out that, if you were from the start of the contest, it would be like $60 daily in traded volume. Wow, you can kind of go in there and you can just tinker around, You can.
I'm very good at
thinking
that.
About that volume. It's just, are you executing real trades on the books? You might buy some altcoins, and sell them a little bit later in that day, and now you're qualifying. Again, you're kind of playing those intraday moves. You might play some intra-week moves with a slightly larger stack of Bitcoin.
Right.
It doesn't take much. We tried to design the contest so that it was really accessible for people, so that they didn't have to put these huge stacks to be able to qualify.
That's pretty cool.
Well, and you mentioned altcoins too. Maybe we could talk about that a little bit, because we're really starting to expand the selection of altcoins on the platform. Obviously, I think more recently we've had Video Coin, and I want to say Energy. Is that correct?
We had Energy, we had Phantom, we had GoChain, we had VIDT, which is actually different than VID.
Did one just launch today?
Can be confusing. No, we had one. What was the last one?
I think Energy was the last one.
Yeah, Energy was the last one. I mean, we've done a number of them recently, and this is just the beginning, guys. I think the only thing that we're looking at is kind of what's the next step to really, really aggressively pursuing listings is that liquidity. So we try and coordinate that whole process with projects to make sure everything's looking good, but we know there can be kind of difficulties with that. So being able to have our, liquidity solution in place, right, that we have been working on for quite some time. I think our community is pretty familiar with this. What used to be when launch is now when liquidity.
Is now when liquidity, absolutely.
And so it's the new thing that I hear all the time and way too much.
So what does that process look like for a new token? Do they have to bring a market maker on, or do they?
Yeah, so that's one opportunity, right? I mean, is for projects to kind of have liquidity on their own books. The goal is to offer a solution for that ourselves, right? So that we don't have to have them talking to third parties or trying to coordinate that internally, but that there's an opportunity for them to basically have that solution just from the get-go. So it's a solution that we've been really working hard on, and I think we're at the finish line, very close to it. And so the plan is to actually debut a basic version of that on some of the existing trading pairs, primarily like Beaxy pairs and the BTC USD pair, for example, in the next couple weeks. And then after that, the goal is to expand that to all the pairs on the books, and that would include any new token that's listed. And so we wouldn't really have to worry about that process of figuring out liquidity or arbitrating it in any way. It would just be there.
That's awesome. So sounds like that solution is coming soon. So hope then. So what's the next question people will have in the community?
I think they'll say when Fiat.
Yeah, all
Probably,
right.
right?
Now let's talk
or
about
when
that.
mobile app. Actually, that's the other one we get.
I was actually thinking about that one yesterday. Is when mobile
that we get
app.
that one a weird amount. I'm really surprised at how often we get asked that. I mean, I don't know everything about our users, obviously, right? And you think, you try and get in the head of the users, and it's like sometimes things come up that you're like, I'm really genuinely surprised that's such a high priority item. And the mobile app has been one of those biggest surprises for us. It's we've seen some data around it, how many times our users request it, how much people do trade on mobile. It's really substantial. I mean, you're looking at significant portions of volume. I've heard up to 40%.
Really?
Folks are, retail traders are trading on mobile. And that's
I would
what
say,
makes an exchange go. So
I would say for myself, I've only really started using mobile for like margin trading. Just, you know what I mean? I'm not too concerned about my alt position on a, hourly or, daily basis necessarily.
Yes, I would agree with you there.
Yes, I think that makes a lot of. I've seen that behavior
Management
too.
of your it's easier to manage from mobile if you're not sitting at your computer all the time. If you but see the beauty of Beaxy versus some of these other exchanges is you can set take profit at the same time, so you may not need to log in to be able to close your position. You know what I mean? So that's interesting.
And honestly, guys, I think the way the responsive site works right now when you're on mobile is pretty darn good. I mean, I think it's great, actually.
Yeah, it is.
But I do understand the importance of the mobile app, and it can function, simultaneously as a price checker. And the difficulty we've had with that is, how do we think about putting all of the potency of the matching engine into a small package? That's really challenging. And the order types, the actual design of the order types page becomes very, very tough. We've been working on this, so I want to clarify that. This has been already something we've been chipping away at for some months now, is just the initial design, and how we're going to approach this. So that's pretty tough. I mean, you start thinking about putting, 8, 9 order types in a single page, along with order book, along with chart. I mean, where does everything go? It becomes very quickly difficult. But we know it's important. We hear our users kind of request for it, and that's something we're prioritizing alongside. So to answer your original question, I think it'll probably be when mobile. It's already when mobile after liquidity. And then I would say the Fiat, which will come before mobile for sure, is the other one.
Interesting.
When Fiat.
I was gonna say, for myself, I don't know if this is even on the table at all, but is leverage trading or margin trading on the docket at all for the future?
They're definitely things that we're looking at. It's it's more complicated than that, right?
I bet it would be.
This is one of those ones that's not. It's more complicated than most of the things I've ever discussed on your show, just because there's licensure and things like that are involved, and now you're getting into third party territory, and it becomes complicated real quick, right? In terms of what's required, and then costs that might be necessary. Timing is almost impossible because now you're dealing with third parties, perhaps regulators, other licensing bodies. So that gets really tough really quick. Is it something that we want to do? Absolutely. The vision of Beaxy has always been an all-in-one exchange, right? From day one. I mean, we've talked about this. We've communicated about this outside of our conversations, mine with you guys. Since the beginning, that's been what we wanted to do. So it's not, and that's very much part of it, is having those other, trading types, those other financial products available on the exchange. But it's a slightly longer term vision.
Right.
It's in that kind of long, mid to long term vision.
Very interesting. But the Fiat ramp is coming soon? Is that?
Yeah, so that one's coming sooner than probably anything else that we've discussed here. I think it would only come after the liquidity solution in the way that we imagine it. So that's something that we're working hard on, and I think once that's in place, I mean, again, I think we've touched on this in the past, but agreements and things are already in place for what we would need for the Fiat. It's really the technical side that we're working on. So once that's all settled, then I think you will hear about it, and you'll hear about it in a big way. So it's going to be after liquidity in the way that we've planned it. To give an exact time frame on it right now is challenging, just because we don't know a lot of those technical details. But I think it's looking good for near term. I wouldn't even say midterm.
That's exciting. Chamber, thoughts?
I'm very interested in what the Fiat is going to look like.
Yes.
Are you able to elaborate on that a little bit?
I can give some clarity on that. I believe that we will just start with USD.
Okay.
However, we will be able to quickly roll out new Fiats, and that would be 7-ish new Fiats that we would have that we could roll out more quickly. In terms of how it will look on the exchange, we've had a lot of conversations about this. I don't think they're extremely relevant for the layperson right now, because nothing's settled, right? We don't know exactly what the UI or the UX for that is gonna be. But we've had a ton of conversations about it. It's already progressed from the I would say the political into the technical here, and so that's the realm that we're in now. And then I think the other piece will just be the presentation to the end user. What pairs will we have? That remains to be seen. I think we'll probably start small and increase from there. I think if we've learned one thing at Beaxy, it's don't bite off more than you can chew, right? Just start with something that you can nail, and then go, grow it from there. So that's very much the ethos that we're going to have here. Is let's start with, maybe just a BTC USD pair. And then where can we go from there? Well, we can go more pairs with USD, probably Ethereum, BXY, other coins. We can add, other fiat currencies, things like that. So that's very much the approach we're going to take here. It's going to be very exciting when it comes, but we're not going to go full force, tumbling head over heels into it.
Yeah, I think even just like you said, a BTC USD Fiat on ramp puts you light years ahead of some other exchanges out there. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean there's a small bunch of exchanges that have that capability, and I think this will really put us in a new camp, as you say, right? It's something that is sought after. It's a new way to introduce money to the market. And so overall, you look at it, it's I think one of the most exciting things that we will roll out as a business in our at least kind of first 2-year life cycle. So I'm personally very, very excited about it. I know the community's bullish on it. We've tried to keep an open dialogue about where we're at, and I think we're closer than we've ever been, without a doubt.
That's pretty cool. So you guys just had recently an AMA with your community. Is there anything that we didn't touch upon that were kind of key takeaways for you guys from that?
Yeah, I mean, I think I would just maybe offer a summary of what the AMA was all about. The basic summary is this, right? We need to get that liquidity in place to be able to move forward. You know, that we know that every successful exchange has robust liquidity. They have a lot of other things, right? Coins that you might want to trade, you know, order types, which I know we're pretty much leading the game in that regard. And I can tell you guys this, you know, there are 2 new order types that we want to introduce in the very near term also. And I've heard, you know, internally that we're very nearly there on that. They're kind of in that testing phase. So that would be the trailing stop and the OCO. So cool. Those are both 2 of the most sought after order types that, you know, exist, and at least for spot traders. And so that's going to be an exciting offering. But, you know, the point is, before we can really move forward with all this exciting new stuff and all these new features and bells and whistles that we want to add, the consideration always has to be, can traders literally place the trades, right? Like, is the liquidity there? Right. This comes before so many things, right? It comes before listings to an extent, because those new tokens that you add have to be liquid. Marketing is only going to be so effective without that liquidity. Nonetheless, we will move forward with these things, but, you know, these are the considerations that we have to have, is just putting that first. And I think that was the main message we wanted to communicate during the AMA, and it was the main takeaway from what we heard in terms of feedback from the community related to the AMA. It was all about, you know, appreciate it, guys, take your time, thanks for the update. We know that liquidity's got to come first, and, you know, once it does, I think the floodgates open.
Serious question. I can't believe I haven't asked it yet. Did RTEK grill anything for Labor Day?
So yeah, I know he had some things going on for Labor Day. You know, we had some different grilling activities actually going on over that entire span of days. So, you know, we've been on the grill.
What's different grilling? Is that like Soylent Green or?
No, it's different grilling events. Let's just say.
I
so.
See.
Yeah, I mean,
seems suspicious. I feel like you're cooking humans.
Did that cookout between Marco and RTEK and
no, that's still going to be that's upcoming.
When is that happening?
That is planned for later this month now. Actually, I
really
forgot we're already in September.
Wow. I just want to take full credit for that, because I just totally started a Twitter beef.
I don't know about full credit. You get like 55%. I'll give you more than half.
Hey, I'll take 51%. That's fine. I'll even take 49. I don't care.
You get four extra. I'm gonna stick with 55. You can have 55.
Marco had a great. He had a tweet the other day with a picture of this high-end steak.
Open flame.
No, it was a couple of steaks that he had, and it's that Japanese steak that's all the rage right now.
Is it the Wagyu or the Kobe?
Wagyu? Yeah, with like the crazy marbling.
Yeah. They're really lovely steaks. I mean, I have had them, but it was always at a restaurant, and it was always in certain proportions. Like I don't think I've ever had a full slab of a Wagyu steak. You know.
Well, apparently there's like this even like a more a more rare version of the Wagyu. It's like only these cows that are on this Japanese island off the coast of Japan.
I've heard of this.
Apparently, it's like I don't know what the price is, but it's silly.
I would imagine so.
So yeah, if you ever get it, have you seen this bunch? These Wagyu steaks?
I have, and I don't know if I've had any, but I know what you are talking about. Yes.
Yeah, they're really just, I'm sure, you know, compared to any steak, the best. I mean, the quality overall is just through the roof.
All right, next topic here, which I am calling "Bitch Please," and we're spelling it with PLS. Chamber, you've already locked your PLS tokens, right?
I'm locked and loaded. I am a PLS holder. I am a Am I okay to say what my ranking, like my
Oh my
my
God!
level?
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't give your level. I wouldn't give your level.
Because I don't even know what it means.
Yeah, so I wouldn't do that. Then
Can
people
you
would
go
know
over-
basically how much you have.
I mean, as much as I think it would be cool to talk about it, I would.
Can you
highly
go over
advise
the
you.
levels?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
hold on. First, let's start from the beginning.
Right.
What,
All right.
Tell people what PLS is and why it's important.
Right. So PLS is essentially a feature on Beaxy. It is, in a sense, tokenized, right? But it's really just tokenized for convenience. You can think of it like a loyalty rewards point, that would actually, you would get a share of the trading fees that are generated on the platform. That's kind of out of a preset bucket, right? So we would take a carving out of the trading fees that we generate, and we would say, out of this pool, proportionally speaking, also based on your duration of locking, you would get a share of those fees. So this would involve, you take your BXY token, you swap that for PLS, you take those PLS, and it's a very seamless, feature, and I'll let Chambers speak to that. It works super well. I mean, I love the way the interface feels. But you take those and you'd lock them. You'd say, I want to lock them for a month. I want to lock them for 3 months, 6 months. More than 6 months. When you get over certain thresholds, you get a larger share, or a larger percentage, right, based on your share that you would lock. And so these would now actually allow you to earn a percentage of the trading fees that Beaxy would earn through that token mechanism. And so, unfortunately, it's not available for every jurisdiction in the world, but it is for most. And so, Chamber was able to take. I know, yeah.
I don't get to do it.
So I do have a question. So there are once you get your PLS, depending on the amount, you get a certain credential on your in your account. So there's silver, there's gold, there's platinum, and there's diamond.
Right.
Now, I remember playing around on the website prior to PLS being activated. Correct. And there was Loyalty Rewards, which is where you would find the PLS, and then there was membership program.
Correct.
And you could lock, for silver, for example, you could lock 50,000 Beaxy. I think gold was like 100,000, platinum 500,000. Now, for somebody that lives in the U.S., are you able to lock in Beaxy without getting the PLS, but still getting the membership level?
Absolutely, you are, and that's a really good clarifying question.
Yeah.
So I mean, we didn't want to, it's for a variety of reasons that we've separated these programs out the way that we have. But suffice it to say, if you are a U.S. resident or a resident of a jurisdiction where we cannot allow you to participate in the PLS program, you can still participate in the BXY membership program. But at the same time, we wanted to make it so that if you were in the PLS program, you didn't miss out on the benefits of the membership program. You see what I mean? So
exactly, because that was I wouldn't say I would be worried about it, but I remember making the mental note when exploring the website is like, I wonder, is it one or the other? If you do get the PLS, do you get? So I was happy to see that I got the membership program as well as the loyalty rewards.
Yeah. So now in your position, right, you're sitting pretty. You're able to get
King of the castle.
King in the castle.
You will never get this.
You're my wife. So you're able to get the loyalty rewards. So you can get some kind of passive, earnings that way, so to speak, based on kind of what's going on. And then you can also get the discounted trading fees, the better customer support access, and access to new tools and features that we roll out that would be part of your membership level, right? So in the same way that we don't want to exclusively have access to one program or another, we're kind of letting them live within their own nests, but in the sense that the BXY just membership program is available to anyone who uses the exchange and holds a relevant amount of tokens. And then at the same time, you can also receive those membership benefits just by participating in the PLS program at a relevant level. So it's a best of both worlds approach, I think. We're still exploring means that we can open the PLS to other jurisdictions. But those are longer term initiatives, and
now,
I don't think.
Am I able?
Go ahead, Chamber.
I'd like to go over the countries that are restricted, because being a Canadian.
Oh, don't make me recite them.
I was going to, but I'll just recite them myself. I have the list.
Oh, you got them there.
Yeah,
Perfect. Yeah.
But I laugh every time because I just don't understand what's happening in the United States specifically. Just being an onlooker from the other side of the border, like what is happening
Big sigh.
when you get bunched in with these? Again, I've never been to. I've been to a couple of these countries, but for the most part, I haven't been to many of these countries. And for the U.S., the behemoth that the U.S. is, to be lumped in with these countries just seems suspicious or curious, or I don't know what restrictions are on the U.S. that has to put them into this group. So there's 15 in total. The other 14 besides the U.S. are Algeria, Bangladesh, Burma, or Myanmar, depending on when you live there. Ivory Coast, Cuba, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Egypt, Iran, Iraq, Liberia, North Korea, Sudan, Syria, and Zimbabwe.
I see what you're saying. You're basically saying
what the heck, U.S. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I mean,
what did you do?
Yeah, it's a question that I've gotten before. I want to clarify. I'm not a legal expert by any means here,
right.
and I would be remiss to comment on the specific nature of
Nor
that.
are you a politician.
Right, and I don't, God forbid, that'd be terrible. But, I think the commonality there is that there are some restrictions on certain activities, right, related to trading, related to ownership of certain assets.
Is it all due to that
securities law?
I was going to say, they always talk about, and I forget the term now, it's slipping my mind, but when, people want to invest in companies, they need to hit a certain threshold as far as
accredited investors.
Thank you very much. Accredited investor.
Yeah, there's right. So that's
is that what we're talking about in this situation?
I mean, it's not the only thing.
Okay.
But it is certainly an aspect of it, right? Again, I'm limited in what I can sort of speak to in a sort of qualified manner, of course, right? But yes, it's a great many of these things that we've touched on that might contribute to us just feeling that that's not a place that we can safely open this feature to, right? Because again, we look at it as a feature. We look at BXY token as a clear utility token, and we want to make that discernment, but at the same time, we want to offer rewards to our users. So that's the three kind of considerations that have led to the structuring the way it's structured.
Interesting. I think we are still, selling the entire process short. I think it's probably the most attractive feature that you can utilize your Beaxy tokens for. Like you said, you get all the benefits of membership, all the benefits of PLS, which means basically a share in trading fees. So it's a very cool option for a passive type of income that I don't think any other exchange really offers. Is there anyone else out there doing anything like it?
Well, you have some, right? You have KuCoin shares. KCS can be considered something along these lines. Now, I have plenty of respect for KuCoin and what they do. I think our token in general has more appeal in terms of its utility value, and I think we will continue to expand that significantly over time. And to my knowledge, there are a few others. I can't quote them off the top of my head, but I know we've discussed a few in the office that have similar functionality. Again, are the rates as good? Is the other utility related to the program as good? I think we've intentionally tried to set ourselves as the best program like this, and that was very much the goal from the beginning, is offer the best case of total incentives with the token package.
You were mentioning how easy it was to use, and we were chatting before the show. There wasn't a lot of fanfare on. Was it Sunday when we had the update?
I believe it was Sunday. Yes. It was.
So there wasn't a lot of fanfare, and I happened to be on Twitter, and I forget who it was. You? Yeah, I happened to be. I stumbled upon Twitter on a Sunday afternoon. I may have been Josh McGruff.
Yes.
it may have been him. Anyways, if it wasn't him, shout out to Josh. Anyways,
good guy, like Josh a lot.
Very good guy. He had mentioned that in this new update that PLS was activated, and I ran down to my office, hopped on my computer, having a little bit of Beaxy. Being in Canada, I said, "Well, I'm going to absolutely take advantage of this." So I clicked on. It was literally, there was a button that said "Get PLS." And it was, how much do you want? How long do you want to lock it up for? So I think I did half of my Beaxy bag for 6 months and the other half for 1 month, just to see, give me some flexibility. Mm-hmm. And I think how many? I mean, at the time, I think there was talking about like 1 million when I first saw it that were locked up. But how many are locked up now? This is like
I think we're north of 27 million now.
It's insane. And that's what, 48 hours later?
Yeah, like 48 hours later. I mean, and you guys know that's a significant portion of the circulating supply. I mean, I don't even know the exact figures of what the circulating is right now, but yeah, I mean, I've seen some quotes thrown around, and it's a pretty significant number.
I'm sure there'll be some great YouTube videos in no time that'll be.
Yeah, and again, we didn't even push on it at first. It was literally just part of the release, and we never advertised it separately. People just were ravenously, interested.
I think I saw a tweet today from you guys. That was about it.
Yeah, today we did a push on it. Today we did an email and tweet, and I think we'll maybe make a little bit of a push around it for the week. I just want people to be aware of it on the one hand. That it is a really, like you say, it's a really attractive feature. I think, Bunchy was saying that it's kind of a great scenario for people who want to be using the platform. You want to kind of have that, little reward, little incentive from using the platform, and you want to also have the discounts and the other loyalty, membership type features that you're used to from interfacing with any major company in the world, right? You take a number of flights on an airplane and you get points back. And those points are able to get you a lot of things. Those points can get you goods that you can use to sustain yourself. You can get food and things like that. You can get discounts on other flights. You can get free flights. You can get other promotions. We wanted it to function like that. You think of even like credit card points, right? That you can actually convert back into cash. And you can pay your bills with, you can get cashed out direct to your account. It's a similar kind of a situation. That's the way we wanted to think about our business and the way our token model worked from the beginning. And I think we've managed to successfully roll it out. There's been a ton of anticipation for it. I think that's why you saw, even with no announcement, that the hype was really significant. And I think we'll be, probably well over 30 million tokens staked by the end of the day. And like you're talking about, literally just 48 hours later.
Right. Well, and the interesting thing too is the way it's set up. And I'm actually just on the website now. You have kind of an updated ticker in the right-hand corner saying pending loyalty balance. So I've been doing this for 2 days, and it has a certain amount in BTC, and it shows you the USD equivalent.
Right. Yep.
How? And I'm sure we've touched on this in the past. I know on some exchanges you get a portion of each token that was traded.
Right. Yep. And that's essentially the way it works.
Is that what? Okay. Because I wasn't 100% sure, because I thought that's the way it went, but then I saw the BTC loyalty balance, and I wasn't sure if it was going to be a payout in BTC only or it was going to be a mix.
Yeah. To speak to that, we have had really a lot more substantial volumes on BTC pairs in recent days. So that's really good. I think overall, volumes are looking really positive. But yeah, that's the way it's calculated. It's based on traded volumes and what's traded.
And now the payout, will it be small portions of all of those different altcoins, including Beaxy and Bitcoin? Or is
it's my understanding, and then I think we're looking at different ways to kind of, basically transfer those positions, right?
Gotcha.
So yeah, I think we're looking at a lot of different options there. We want to make it as easy for users as possible, and as you said, Chamber, like it's really easy now, but how can we make it better? That's always where our heads are at. So
interesting. So before we move on from here, We gonna do a little giveaway here? Is that what we're?
Yeah, I'd like to. I mean, are you guys okay with it? Can we give someone something? Or
yes, we absolutely can. So, what exactly are we going to be doing here? There's going to be a couple steps to this.
Just 2 steps. Let's keep it below 3, right? We don't want to.
Yes,
we don't want to freak people out. So
just a little 2-step.
I'll make y'all a deal who are listening to this. It will probably be in the tweet that summarizes this episode. But if you guys will share that tweet, retweet it, and if you're able to, and I think let's do this maybe this way, right? If you're able to retweet the tweet, and then you're able to actually lock some PLS. Let's say you're a Beaxy holder and you're able to lock some PLS. If you don't have Beaxy, super easy to get, but if you're able to, lock some PLS, then we will enter you to win, what are you going to say, 1,000 Beaxy tokens? I think that's pretty reasonable, right?
I think that's pretty good.
I mean, you're incentivizing yourself to incentivize yourself, so
I think that's pretty good.
It seems reasonable, right? So, yeah, let's do that. If you guys will...
Hey, we're huge in Croatia, so I think
Are you guys really huge in
Croatia?
We're
literally like the number one tech news podcast.
That's awesome. Wow. Yeah. Okay, I'm not even ask
crazy.
about that. I don't even...
Who knows?
That's really cool. Well, all you Croatians out there, so...
They're listening. They're listening.
I know they are. I mean,
Canadians,
I've heard.
Just
Canadians
as
well.
Just none of the U.S. and Bangladeshians, I guess.
That's right.
Yeah. I mean, but U.S. folks just retweeted anyway out of the goodness of your heart. Yeah, I mean, let's do that. So we'll, retweet and then lock some amount of PLS, and I think we can find some way to kind of aggregate the emails. So that should be the easiest way to go. We could probably do that through.
We can pull the. We can pull that through a block. There's like a blockchain drawing winner thing that we use sometimes. Yeah, so
there you go. Cool. So details would be coordinated, but I like the sound of this.
Cool.
So yeah, folks out there listening, make it happen.
All you guys out there in Croatia, we're gonna go do live spots in Croatia, Chamber.
We're like kings over there.
That's right. Hashtag Kings of Croatia.
You guys should move in that case. I mean, just
move.
No
kidding. Then I can stake PLS.
Yeah, it seems like a no-brainer.
All right, we are going to move on. We're gonna do. Chamber? Is there anything else that you?
No, I'm just dying on Kings of Croatia right now.
Is that the hashtag for the episode?
That is the hashtag for the episode. Possibly T-shirts are coming.
Definitely. Oh wait, the other one is definitely hashtag bitch please.
Oh, of course,
PLS.
yeah.
That's probably the title for the episode. And all right, and then before we move on here, Franklin, is there anything else that we didn't cover that you want to mention?
No, man. I think we covered everything. Appreciate talking to you guys every time. Like, you guys are super entertaining. And
can we call it Fitch, please?
Oh my gosh! Wow, you're really
Fitch PLS.
You're really innovating now.
Sorry, I just saw it. I'm writing it down. I'm like, Fitch, please.
Oh my god, that's amazing. We're taking that directly to the Discord too, and that's gonna be
Fitch, please.
Bet that you will.
That's definitely gonna go. That's gonna catch on for sure. That's
guys,
awesome.
Again, always great talking to you.
You're not done yet.
No. You're not getting off that easy, sir.
Oh,
we have one more segment that we've been playing now with everybody, and you're no different. So we are calling this segment "Defend That Tweet."
The defense is not back, Mom.
Hey, just get our energy going at the defensive end. Playing defense.
So, Chamber, you want to start here?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, Frank, what we're doing is we've scrolled through your Twitter timeline.
Oh Lord!
Looking for suspicious activity.
No,
not really. No. We just pulled some tweets, and we're going to read them back to you, and just tell us what you were thinking at the time.
Wonderful.
Just give us a little background on the tweet, essentially.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start with this one. This is from July 3rd. Yep, July 3rd at 9:20 a.m. So a morning tweet. That's when I do my best tweeting. Libra concerns me, but governments killing digital assets in their crib concerns me more.
Oh, yeah, I remember
Defend that tweet.
Defend that tweet.
Well, I think the point I was trying to make there is that I am genuinely concerned about what the Libra, quote-unquote cryptocurrency represents, but I'm also more concerned about the potential of governments to just outright legislate a crypto out of existence before it ever starts. You know what I mean? Like
Totally.
Do you see the kind of construction that's like
the same reason I can't stake PLS.
It's like, yeah, genuinely, you got to ask yourself which is more concerning here.
Right?
Governments preventing a cryptocurrency from being created, or the potentially dubious nature of that cryptocurrency. And I think the answer was pretty clear for me.
I would agree. That's a solid tweet defense. In the same vein, I'm going from that one to July 11th. This one doesn't give me the time, but something Trump, something Bitcoin. Defend that tweet.
Wasn't this right after Trump tweeted about Bitcoin? Yeah, it was right after Trump tweeted about Bitcoin. And my entire timeline was flooded with people talking about Trump, talking about Bitcoin. And I was like, this is really asinine. I mean, I think those of us who've been in crypto for at least a little while have, I'm not saying I'm like an OG or even like a half OG or even a quarter OG.
You're definitely a quarter OG.
I've been in crypto for a decent amount of time is my point here. And I've seen so much speculation about what this tweet would be like. And then it comes and it was kind of like underwhelming. It was like, oh, okay. And then everybody's still tweeting about it. And I was like, all right, why is this, why do we care? Why do we care about this? Why are we looking for external validation on what our opinions of Bitcoin are? So I kind of lampoon that with like something, yeah, like I don't know why people were so worked up about it.
All right, Chamber.
That was a good defense. I'm going same day.
Same day.
This is July.
I don't really tweet that often anymore.
Later that day. Wow, you got to take a page out of my book. You could just kind of pepper that timeline. Later that day.
This is a great tweet, by the way.
Studies show that 9 out of 10 people who say they're, quote, literally dead are actually alive and well, and that 8 out of 10 who say they, quote, can't even, in fact can. Oh, hashtag the more you know.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
That's just a good tweet. I don't care. You don't even have to defend that one. That's a good tweet. That's fun.
Yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate it.
I mean,
I think you know where I was going with that.
That's just science. Exactly. That's just science.
I've always found it really funny. I mean, I obviously love social media given my line of work and spend a lot of time on different social media. And I've always noticed that, like, there's this interesting trend of, kind of diminishing language down until there's nothing left, taking like phrases and words and like beating them to a pulp, and then you're just kind of, it's not recognizable
like
at a certain
when
point.
Moon.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you got that. Like the memification is one thing, which I do kind of find humorous and enjoyable. But like the other, and I'll give another example. Girls when they're posting like pics of their former vacations, like take me back. I've posted funny stuff about this before, and it's like nobody's taking you back. You took yourself there the first time. You're going to take yourself there again. Who would take you back? So that was the flavor of that tweet, was like just the funny things that we say that really mean nothing at all. And maybe we should stop.
I like it. Now, I have been hearing a lot, I think more recently over the last maybe week or so on Twitter, there's been a lot of shade being thrown at ladies taking pictures and, that kind of thing, right?
I've tangentially seen that.
Yeah. I think most people are somewhat aware that there's some, quote unquote backlash. So right. As a student of science, I posted a tweet yesterday with my lovely wife as kind of the main character in that tweet, and it eclipsed any of my other tweets by manyfold. Yeah. So there might be something there. I think normally, if a good day on something funny that I tweet, if I can get 15 to 20 likes or some sort of participation, I'm pretty happy about that. This one was like, 24 hours ago, it's got like 100 plus likes. I'm like, oh geez, it's not even very upsetting.
I mean, sex sells is a euphemism for a reason.
There was also weed in the background too. So, I mean, it was a combination of weed and ladies.
That was
your audience, picture,
right?
That was the match.
I wouldn't say that was like Yeah, I wouldn't say that was a sexually.
Oh no. That's what I mean.
charged,
I just meant you. If there's any sort of good-looking lady in it, it seems to gather a bit more momentum.
Yeah, I mean that's a formula. It's a basic formula, but it's a formula.
It is.
I don't know. I mean, I've pretty straightforward feelings on that. I think a person should, generally speaking, be able to represent themselves.
I agree.
In the overall manner in which they choose to do, and I think I'm not like all the way on the spectrum of this body positivity thing that's such that I'm ignoring other real aspects of life, but I think
you have a reasonable approach to it, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I try to be reasonable in things that I do. And
I wish people would be more reasonable.
Wants to dress and post a picture of themselves because they're confident about it. Great, but I mean, it can all. There's a flip side to that. It's you can misrepresent yourself. I think in the same way that you have, generally speaking, the right to post a picture of yourself in less clothing than you might wear to work, you also must consider that people may pass judgment on you for the way that you represent yourself. Like that's the double-edged sword of this. You can't prevent people from casting judgment on you, right? So that's where it nets out.
REKT podcast, The Body Issue.
Look, I'm not coming on that one.
Look at us, saving the world, saving the world.
You can count me out of that one. Not a 6-time appearance. So I'll tell you what.
It's just gonna be like Chamber and fully nude, not in weird poses with just like a hardware wallet over his junk.
Like a what?
Holding my bag.
A soccer ball or a football, as you call it.
Holding.
Yeah, holding some kind of burlap sack that may or may not contain your altcoins.
That's so funny. All right, we got one or two more here.
You can do the last one there.
Okay. Well, there's one that you might be missing, but this is my favorite Franklin tweet, I think, of all time. And I was one of the first comments on it. This comes from 8/19, so very recently at 4:48 p.m., almost quitting time. Any salad is a Caesar salad if you stab at it enough. Defend that tweet. Chamber, do you even get that tweet?
I didn't realize this one was in the mix. I saw that one when it. This was not that long ago, I feel. Maybe a week or so. The 19th.
Yeah,
I laughed hysterically when I saw this. So this is an A+ tweet.
I immediately responded, smart tweet.
Yeah, that is a good.
I remember you tweeting that at me. I mean, what is it? True or is it not true?
That's a solid,
right? Like someone stabbing at something.
I enjoyed it thoroughly. There is one more. Chamber, you doing it?
Yeah, I got it here. Last one. This one's pretty deep, I think. This is from August 27th, so just a few days ago. When the ocean was calm, all ships alike showed proficiency in floating.
Yes.
That's fucking deep, man.
Yes, that is a quote. I've actually talked with another crypto friend significantly about this quote. My understanding is that it originates from Shakespeare, and that it is, the point of the quote is that when things are easy, it's easy to be good. It's like Michael Jordan wasn't Michael Jordan because he hit easy shots. He was Michael Jordan because he hit hard shots. That's the point of the quote, is that when times get tough, it kind of shows your true character, and you can fold or you can keep going, and that's the choice that you have to make as an individual. But at the end of the day, that's what separates the wheat from the chaff, and that's when you have to step up.
Very interesting.
Wow.
There we go.
Hashtag wow.
That was defend that tweet. Yeah. Hashtag Fitch, please.
Boom. There you go. Should I put that in terms that you can understand? That's when Gretzky.
Thank you very much.
No, Chambers
I'm like,
the NBA guy.
Who the hell is Michael Jordan?
No, Chambers the NBA guy.
Yeah, no,
is he really? Language.
Yeah, I almost got kicked out of Canada for not liking hockey that much. So
I mean, it's a decent sport. I'm not gonna say it's the best.
Hockey's junk. Basketball's where it's at.
Yeah, I'm a huge hoops fan. Like,
good.
Like die hard. So
interesting. All right. Well, that's all we have for you, Franklin. You have survived. Fitch, please, and defend that tweet. No, you're good. So anyway, one last time, where can people find you and Beaxy and all the wonderful things going on, the Discord, everything like that?
Yeah, I mean, I guess me personally, if that's what you meant, I'm on Twitter at
Sure,
Crypto Fitch. And then Beaxy is obviously at Beaxy Exchange. And I think we're the same on Facebook. And then on Instagram, we're at Beaxy Official. And then we're back on Telegram now. That's a new one I should probably mention. We are back on Telegram, so that's really exciting. And then we're just Beaxy Exchange on Telegram, t.me/Beaxy if you want to join there. Our Discord, there's a lot of links that you can find. If you just search Beaxy Discord, it should be pretty relevantly available for you in the search history there. So yeah, those are all the places that we want to create conversations with you guys. So please kind of check us out and engage with the PLS program if you think it's something that you want to do. But just moreover, test out the exchange and get a feel for us and join the community.
Cool. That is it for us, for myself, Chamber, and Franklin. This has been REKT Podcast, and until next time, don't get wrecked, and that is financial advice.